Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how economic impact on our mental health. But before we talk about how current economic impact on our mental health, we have to talk about most important significant impact, which is COVID. So let's begin to talk about how COVID impact our economy and how this economic issue linked to our mental health issue. So we can begin by talking about this tragedy. So COVID tragedy. Whatever that happened to us really has to do with how government reacting um, to the situation in terms of how the whole government or whatever the private sector, public sector reacting to the the virus. Um, I want to give you guys a statistic first. So basically, COVID starting with 2020, the beginning of 2000. When you're accumulating all those numbers, there is already about 3 million people die from COVID. But when you talk about the death, you think that um, the death has to do with people does not really taking care and not doing a lot of prevention on the COVID part of the COVID because they don't wear masks or they just get it from somewhere else. We can say that, but at the same time, we also need to take other things into a consideration because there's always other concerning issue. People can get COVID due to the variety of reasons. That's why they strongly emphasize public health worker and a lot of people has to need to interacting with the people need to wear HR mask. That also including the people who's in the customer service sector. So 3 million people die. And if you talk about economic impact, there are about 3 billion people. It's even greater. 3 billion of people lost their job or went through the furlough from the company. But if you really want to talk about COVID relating to economy, I would define this as the most intense, compre- comprehensive tragedy that occurred in our part of our history, the human history. Well, we can talk about China from the very beginning, how China spreading those virus, if some people would say that, but we never know too. The only thing we know is China's economy rebound really fast. That can be the reason because they contract by this night market, right, from the marketplaces, and that's how people get in fact impacted by the COVID. But at this point, not a lot of people still find that mysteriously. They don't know what's going on, and they really don't know. So we're just gonna leave like that. We leave like that because it's for our at least give us some background. We don't make a lot of assumptions. So when you talk about the economic impact on mental health, of course, I would say they're all coordinating with each other, and depending on how response to the government in terms of this COVID, the economy may rebound faster if the city government or private public sector, the people who had the mind had a good sense of the direction or right mindset, they will find a way to reduce that economic issue. And COVID also brought and destroying a lot of family, not just because their family member passed away, but economic strain is also one of the issue. A lot of middle income people become lower income, and then you actually don't see a lot of middle income anymore at this point, especially a lot of countries, not just in United States. But if you explain why China's economy rebound really fast, it just has to do with how the virus spread it, and when they kind of control what's going on, they start reboot their people's economy. So that's why they are a little bit faster. Versus our situation in United States is a little bit different. We do some kind of prevention, but some other people say that it's a little bit too late for us to react to what happened to the virus, even though we do a lot of research and all that. But it's really, really difficult to tell how this virus uh, impact on our life. That's for sure. But how devastating the economy has been drained down to the hell. It's really hard. Like I said, it's really hard to blame on certain party or certain people because it's just not work. And when we talk about the COVID, and then of course we talk about people's mental health, and we talk about the economy is nearly crash. There are certain things that is not true, especially stock market at that time back in 2020, during March, April. That is the best time to for people to buy stock because the price drop down to the certain level, and people can take that advantage and to buy the stock. So people make some money on the stock, but overall, the shutdown is just if we go to that route shutdown. Fortunately, we didn't, but some country have to go through the shutdown for a couple months. Shutdown will definitely impact on small business and the economy, uh, GDP in one particular country. According to statistics, about 1.6 billion people, 1.6 billion people at that point um, get impacted by COVID due to shutdown. And there are about 1.2 billion of children cannot go to work. So during that time, they give the HR burden to the parent. So those are kind of like a significant impact on how those COVID and then, you know, impact on our mental health and how COVID significantly pretty much destroying the economy, even though we're trying to rebuild at this point. China's recovery in is I keep mentioning about China because that's they are pretty. It's just kind of amazing how they go through so much, and uh their trajectory is just like continue to go out after the terminate of a cold, not terminate, but kind of easily with a cold. So if you look at their trajectory, their economy go up sharply just after the reduce of their death and the hospitalized COVID number in China. Versus to us in United States, we still did a good job. It's just we have too many people have hold a different opinion. So those type of people may drag down other people. As far as the last thing I want to talk about, um, does this COVID really does have an impact on a person's mental health? It really depends. So certain people will tell me they okay stay at home, they are good with working from home, but certain people just feel overwhelming. So I have like extremely different type of response from people. So I cannot tell. But the only thing that I can tell you guys is future is in our hands. So we will learn the mistake and gain a lot of experiences by understanding the severity of different type of virus. And I'm pretty sure everybody know how to deal with this type of virus in the future. So now we have a new virus stream, and people know how to protect themselves, even though they probably had a lot of fear when the COVID started last year. So that's it for today's channel. If you do have any questions, suggestion, please leave any question down below. My channel name is The Other Form of K. The Other Form of K. Until next time, we will be talk about definitely different stuff. But that's it for now. And I hope you do have a great time. Bye bye.